Hey everyone, thanks for clicking. This is Rocky, and it's time to talk about the first full trailer for Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. Initially, I planned on putting this review together right after seeing the trailer, but I decided to give myself a little time for the geek fanboy side of myself to finally calm down a little bit. I watched the trailer a few more times and really let everything kind of sink in. So I'm going to break down some of the trailer and give my thoughts on possible meanings and directions of what we saw. The opening of the trailer pretty much sets the tone of the movie, as accountability is going to be huge. In this case, there's some form of government committee headed by Holly Hunter's character. Basically, they're pointing at Superman as the cause of all the destruction from the Man of Steel movie. Of note, Holly Hunter's character seems a bit unhinged, which leads me to believe that she knew someone that died that day. We see some picket signs as Superman lands in Washington, calling him an illegal alien, and the typical filth we see in media these days. Now, while Holly Hunter seems off balance, Cavill presents us with a very somber and sorrowful Superman, as the events of Man of Steel have obviously been tearing at him, and I'm sure he has doubted if he should have even come forward to begin with. Much like the first movie, Superman does appear to willingly accept the decisions made by man. Hey look, it's Bruce Wayne in Metropolis during Man of Steel. These scenes would have had a much larger impact if we did not get the interview with Affleck earlier, where he said we would see the reason why Bruce is so dead set on taking out Superman. Still, it was a good way to connect the characters, as we see Bruce screaming on his phone and running towards a building collapsing after being struck by Kryptonian might. The moment with the little girl in his arms was especially touching. Then we realize it was not just any building, but a Wayne Financial building, and we see that familiar Batman look of rage. We get a quick look at what appears to be an abandoned Wayne Manor, and then we hear Alfred as Bruce looks at a paper about Wayne Tower, and in red lettering, we see the words, "You let your family die." Possibly a gift from the Joker? No. I'm thinking we got a Red Hood reference here that's possibly going to lead up to the Batman standalone film. Or maybe it's some form of manipulation by Lex Luthor, but my money's on it's a Red Hood reference. Either way, it all adds up to the resurrection of the Dark Knight, as we see Bruce training, and then we see the suit, much like in the teaser trailer. Visually, Affleck has Batman and Bruce Wayne down, and I love the look on his face in this scene. Batman appears to be hitting the streets hard again, as we see a thug branded and hear Clark, and he is not happy about what this vigilante is doing. So we're already going to see those opposing morals and outlooks of both characters. They need to handle this carefully, as it is a key dynamic to their relationship. Clark getting shut down by Perry is a typical thing, though Perry does seem to be a bit emotional, so I'm sure there's a lot more to this scene. Aw, sweet, Lois is being the voice of hope for Superman, and I'm glad we got some context to the Messiah-like scene from the teaser. There are people that believe in Superman, as they need to believe in hope. How awesome is Ma Kent? She loves her son and could care less what the world thinks. She knows the sacrifices he has made, and I love the line about not owing the world anything. With Superman, it was always about choice, and he needs to choose to be the hero the world needs. Though I'm thinking some of her lines were taken out of context, kind of like Jonathan's lines about the school bus in Man of Steel. I'm still not sold on Eisenberg as Luthor. I mean, I know he can act, so no doubts there. For me, it's more about the writing and the cuts of these scenes. It's almost like he's part Luthor and part Joker or Riddler. It seems he and the Senator are up to no good. I'm assuming they're planning to discredit or even kill Superman. What? Superman is kneeling to Luthor? Why? A couple of things to note are Luthor's hand appears to be hurt, and Superman does not appear to be kneeling willingly. So are we looking at the effects of Kryptonite, or is Luthor somehow blackmailing Superman? Luthor's hurt hand could be interesting, as originally Superboy was cloned from both Superman and Luthor's DNA. So, possible Easter egg? So why is Luthor involved with Zod's body? More than likely so they can experiment on Kryptonian DNA. The long shot is that they will somehow resurrect or clone Zod. Whoa, a Robin suit with Joker writing on it. Jason Todd? Death in the family? Well played, Snyder, well played. So now we get a sense of why Bruce retired Batman. He couldn't protect Robin, and it crushed him. It sounds like Bruce is questioning his actions as Batman with Alfred, and I'm liking Affleck more and more in this role. Quick look at Gal Gadot as Diana, and it's pretty meh. hey look, it's the Superman army, and Bruce expresses his fear on Superman or someone else. Remember, a lot of lines in trailers are cut in ways to garner more attention. The bat armor looks better and better, and does seem like it was somehow adapted from Kryptonian armor. We get a quick flashback of the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne, with a nice cameo of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Just think, Batman is a Winchester. Alright, our first real look at Wonder Woman in action, and it is hard to tell if she is blocking something with her gauntlets or creating some type of energy pulse. I'm not sure if I like the cut of this part, but it does lead us into Western Batman. We get some quick clips of Batman fighting the Superman army that at this point I'm assuming was put together and funded by Luthor. Okay, I'm pretty much sold on Jeremy Irons as Alfred. The guy is just awesome and his lines are so intense. It seems like he is talking about Superman and advising Bruce that he is not the enemy. I really like the direction they are taking Alfred, and I'm actually looking forward to some future scenes between he and Bruce. Finally, we get the Kryptonite reveal, and honestly I have mixed feelings about it. I remember shortly after Man of Steel, Snyder made a comment about not wanting to introduce Kryptonite, so I'm hoping this is something different, or at least they are changing the way Kryptonite works. We ramp up with some combat shots, and the CGI looks really good. Then again, that is something that Snyder usually excels at with his movies. They definitely cut this moment to where you think Superman is fighting Wonder Woman and Batman, but the energy blast that almost hit Batman does not match Superman's heat vision. So seems like it came from another source. Lex definitely has some great lines, and honestly the whole God versus man one has me thinking some form of cloning is going to be taking place. Remember what I said about great lines? The red capes are coming is not one of them. Just seemed too goofy to me. Then we end on a dramatic note as Superman tears the doors off the Batmobile and we see Batman rise to meet him. Honestly, I would have preferred a closer shot of the two staring at each other, but all we get is pretty much a mid-range shot. Cue movie logo card, and we are done. Okay, so this was a pretty strong trailer, though I think it did show a bit much, as it seemed to get kind of chaotic at times. I also think we're going to get bogged down with characters, as we are still supposed to get tease introductions of The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, all in this movie. Let's talk about one of the biggest rumors, and that is Doomsday will be the big bad of the movie. Somehow created by Luthor and possibly the military. I really hope they don't go this route, as it would be a massive mistake. In the comics, Doomsday killed Superman. The impact of that was felt throughout the entire DC universe. You can't use a villain of that caliber or a story of that magnitude before Superman has become loved by the masses. Now, while I would much rather the movie focus on the differences and relationships between Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, I also understand this is a movie and they need to sell tickets. So in my mind, some more plausible big bads would be Luthor himself in some form of armor powered by Kryptonite, which his exposure to would end up causing his baldness. His suit has been depicted in many forms and has always seemed very powerful. Now another idea is that we might see the introduction of Bizarro. There are versions of Bizarro's history that show him being a flawed clone of Superman created by Luthor, and in others he is shown as a clone of Zod. So like I said, these would be better routes to go in my mind, but please do not put Doomsday in this movie. For the love of comics, do not have him appear. So remember at the beginning I mentioned accountability is kind of the theme. Well, what I meant by that is Superman seems to be holding himself accountable for what happened in Metropolis, and he is going to use that to mold himself to becoming the Superman we all know. Now, Bruce, he felt responsible for Robin's death and hung up the cow. Flash forward and we have an alien invasion, and where is Batman? Running through the street in a suit. Yes, he focuses anger towards Supes, but on some level he is asking himself, where was I? This is going to be similar, I think, for all the other heroes, including Diana. Superman chose to align himself with the people of Earth and fight, all but alone except for some military assistance. Where were all the heroes? So you kind of see how they're probably going to use the immense destruction of Metropolis, as well as Superman's choice to fight, as a catalyst to bring other heroes and villains into the light, and for some, back into it. So they're using the destruction of Metropolis that a lot of people complain about in Man of Steel as a catalyst for bringing all the heroes out, all these villains out. So it's all going to be centered on that destruction and Superman's choice. At least that's how it's shaping up in my mind. Now, the important thing with this movie that they really need to get right is the relationship between Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. This has to be right. This is key to the Justice League. This is that holy trinity that's talked about in the DC Comics. They need to feel right together. And I think we're going to get there. I did enjoy the trailer. It's cut very well. Some great action scenes. But like I said, it seemed a little bit chaotic. And I'm just hoping we're not going to get bogged down with all these characters. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on the first full trailer for Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice. Go and let me know down in the comments below what your favorite part of the trailer was. Or if you have any questions on the trailer, go and put those down below as well. If you've enjoyed the video, definitely pound that like button. And go and subscribe to my channel, that way you can receive an alert when I post my next video. Right now I am working on a video for the Suicide Squad trailer, as well as I'm still working on Doom 4 video, and I've got a few others that I'm putting together for you guys. To subscribe to my channel, if you're on your computer, go and click that subscribe button on the screen, or if you're on a mobile device, there's a subscribe button down in the description below, as well as I will provide a direct link for subscribing down in the description below as well. Alright guys, once again, I'm going to close this out at the request of my kids. So, here we go. Hulk smash! Alright guys, take care now. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.